In this episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing F9, or F9 The Fast Saga, or Fast and Furious 9. I don't know where to begin with this movie. This movie was just way over the top, didn't make any sense, should not have been made, and this franchise should have stopped after 6 movies, because the last movie that was good was the 6th movie. I don't understand. I mean, the biggest twists in this movie were given away in the trailer, with John Cena being Dominic's brother and Han coming back. Han coming back, his story was great. I understood why he did it. And basically, the character of Mr. Nobody that Kurt Russell plays is only in this movie for maybe a total of, if you put it together, combined screen time, 5 minutes. Maybe 6, give or take a few seconds. And we understand how big of a role he plays and he has played in this franchise, even with the character of Han and how certain things are. So basically, Dominic and his so-called team now are trying to stop Project Ares, which is Ares is this satellite thing that if once it gets in the wrong hands could control all satellites, nuclear weapons, and other phones, transmissions, computers like that, banks, and, PIN numbers and stocks. And it's interesting. There is a backstory to Dominic and Jacob when they were younger, but it's intercut with the now of, the present. It's so weird, but I mean, I do praise Justin Lin for coming back after directing Fast and Furious 6, because he directed the 3rd, 4th, and 5th movie, as well as the 6th movie, so 4 movies in total. He left. Fast and Furious 7 was directed by James Wan, and Fast and Furious 8 was F. Gary Gray. So Justin Lin came back for this one. Listen, Justin Lin's a great director, but he needs to step away from this franchise. And I understand what he was going with, but the aspect of how these films are done is absolutely ridiculous. 1, 2, and 3 were basically about racing. 4, 5, and 6 were its own trilogy again, with being a heist. And 7, 8, and 9 was basically just espionage and spy. When the espionage and spy thing came in, it just got ridiculous and weird. Charlize Theron is back as well as Cypher. Interesting. Barely in it, but she plays the main threat for some odd reason. And Helen Mirren as Queenie is back for maybe a brief cameo. If you didn't know, her role in this franchise is basically the mother to Owen and Deckard Shaw, which is really, really interesting. We don't see Owen or Deckard Shaw at all. We do see Deckard Shaw. Jason Statham does appear in a mid-credits scene where Han comes and shows himself and says that he's alive. I'm pretty sure Deckard Shaw has nothing or knows nothing about this. So I'm curious to see if that plays into the 10th movie that's coming out. Yes, there's a 10th movie coming out. The action was over the top. Nothing made sense. The science, the physics aspect. They went into space to stop a satellite. Listen, Ludacris and Tyrese's characters went up into space to stop a satellite. The quip remarks and the comedy were good and still there, but they should have just stopped a little bit. Anytime a movie goes up into space, they've jumped the shark because the franchise doesn't know what else to do with it anymore. We think John Cena's the bad guy in this. He is for most of the movie, but then there's someone he's working for, a German guy who is the big bad guy. Really dense, not knowing a character. I feel like the previous movies in this franchise knew what they were doing with the villains, but that was it. And it just didn't work, and it just didn't make any sense. I mean, I feel like it was over the top. The first 15 minutes of the movie are so over the top. With the cable and the going to across another mountain, the flying, the action. They even did the truck flip from a Dark Knight in this. I just call it the Dark Knight truck flip because ever since the Dark Knight did that in that one scene where they flipped that semi-truck, it's been seen in many movies from then on out because people try and replicate or duplicate that. No, magnets were introduced. Listen, I don't know. I mean, this movie was delayed from its original April 2019 release date because of the pandemic, and it came out in June of 2021. So almost 2 full years we had to wait till this movie came out. Listen, if that was the case, you could have just maybe cut out a few scenes, edited a little bit better, and it could have been really, really good. But I don't know. I just don't understand what this franchise was good. It lost its touch. And then it got good with 5 and 6. Should have stopped at 6. That was it. And then even with the Hobbs and Shaw spinoff with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Jason Statham, that movie was much, much better than this 9th movie in their franchise. 9 movies. And they're making 11 in total. So 2 more sequels to go just to wrap up this franchise and to see what happens. And at the ending, Brian O'Connor's car arrives in the driveway. Listen, let Paul Walker's character go in peace. We understand he's a big part of this franchise, but just leave it and let it go. Don't mention him. If you don't mention him or anything, you just let it happen, then it's fine. But other than that, you're beating a dead horse because you don't know what to do with it. You're poking it, you're prodding it, just to get some kind of action out of it. Action was over the top. It didn't make sense. John Cena did a better role as Peacemaker in the Suicide Squad and in his own spin-off, The Peacemaker, on HBO Max. And I didn't see this in movies. I waited until streaming, and I'm glad I did. So, I mean, if you see it, I mean, I warn you, it's going to be over the top and crazy. If you like these kind of movies with action, but the bad acting, then I don't know. Other than that, the only thing that was good was the Han character and seeing Kurt Russell in for maybe a total of 5 minutes, and that was it. This was a waste of time with certain characters, too much characters, dry dialogue, dry humor, didn't make any sense. And I do want to say that Ramsey was really good. Natalie Emmanuel was really good as an actress. She's fantastic. She's phenomenal. She has great, quick, skills, and it's great to see her in this movie. Hopefully see more of her in this franchise, or maybe even something else she goes on to do. For me, F9, or Fast and Furious 9, or F9 The Fast Saga, gets 1 out of 5 stars. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about F9. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? Which movie to you is the best in the Fast and Furious franchise? Let me know in the comment section below. And out of this movie, did you like anything that actually stood out? And what didn't you like? Let me know in the comment section below about the questions I just asked. And I'll see you guys in the next review video.